Okay, so you decided on your software and you're going to be using Calendly for scheduling all your clients. Now what do you do? Well, in this video, we're going to be going over how to set up Calendly to effectively schedule your clients and also communicate with all the other tech that you might use. If you're looking for some extra tips and tricks for Calendly, then be sure to stay till the end. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join my free Facebook group if you want to learn more about diversified revenue and tech for healthcare providers. The link's below. Let's dive in.
All right, let's jump right into using Calendly. First thing we're going to need to do is set up some availability so our clients are able to see when they can actually book appointments with us. If you click into the availability tab, you'll see schedule working hours and you can select all the days and times that you're available. For this example, I'm just going to leave this the same, but if you uncheck it, it just becomes unavailable. You can also add different schedules. So say you're available from 9 to noon, and then I'm not available in the evening. So let's do 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. That means from 12 to 2, no one can book with you. So if you want to do lunch with your kids, have a little time for yourself, if that's your time to work on things and not be with clients, this is a really great option to add those in. And then you would just go up. You can also hit new schedule, and you can schedule exclusive hours or other schedules that you might want to use for specific clients. So if you have an upgraded offer that you sell, or possibly two different things that you book for. So say you're working as a VA on the side, but you also have a wellness business that is yours. You might change working hours over here to wellness appointments, and then you might make another schedule that is your VA hours. And that way you can send links to both of those different clients with different hours available, and you don't have to worry about anyone booking a VA appointment during your wellness client hours. All right, once you've got your availability set, you can flip over to calendar view if you want to just take a look, double check everything. And let's go into integrations. On the integrations page, you're going to find all the other tech that you're going to want to connect with your Calendly. You can add a little extension to your Chrome browser, which makes Calendly super easy to access. Stripe and PayPal are going to be huge. Now, go ahead and click into Stripe, and you can see I'm already connected on here, but it would normally come up and have you log into your Stripe account, and it would automatically connect it then, and you would be able to charge people straight from your Calendly if you have one of the paid versions. I think it's that second tier paid version. And same with PayPal, you just go into PayPal. Normally this would say connect. It says disconnect here because mine's already connected, and you would just log into your PayPal. It will connect everything for you. Zapier is another one that's great to have if you do utilize that software, and a Facebook Pixel if you're going to be tracking who comes and books appointments through a Facebook ad. So that Pixel will be able to tell you, who booked, how many booked, or if they did not book. And calendar connections. This connects your Google Calendar and several other types of calendars directly to Calendly, so it can double check your availability if you have conflicts, different things like that. Now, if you don't want it to check for conflicts, then you can just hit edit and deselect that and hit update. Now we don't have any calendars it's checking for conflicts. However, I do like that option, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back on before I forget. You can also add all your appointments to your calendar. If you don't want to do that, you can just deselect it again. Click where it says do not add events to calendar and just hit update. Also, another thing that Calendly does, if you add this to your Google Calendar and say I delete it off of my Google Calendar, then I can make it also delete in Calendly. I do not have this set right now because I'm paranoid that one of my children is going to accidentally click on my Google Calendar on my phone and delete appointments. So I don't have this enabled, but you can do that. All right, now that we've got all our calendar settings and integrations set up, let's make sure we went through all the integrations that I wanted to tell you about. Oh, and Zoom. I think I skipped over Zoom for some reason. When you connect your Calendly to Zoom, your clients are automatically given the Zoom details for logging into that meeting, which is wonderful because it takes that off of your plate. So let's go back into the home screen now that all of that is set up, and we can look at creating a new appointment. Now, this appointment is one that's just kind of automatically created by Calendly. You can either click into this and just edit all the details, which is fine. You can also go back. If you don't edit that one, then let me show you how to delete it. And just hit delete. Now we're going to go in and create one. New event type, and let's do a one-on-one meeting because I believe majority of us will be using that option. You can also do groups as well. All right, and we just enter all our information here, so we're just going to do fake. We'll do it via Zoom. My Zoom is not connected, so it will tell you that. Enter a description. And you can change this tag right here if you want it to say something different than what you named the calendar event. I usually just leave it alone. Hit next, and this takes us in all the specifics where you can set how many days in advance people can book, or if you want it to be bookable within a date range, which is really great for if you're offering a certain type of appointment only during the month of May. Maybe it's a free 15-minute consult or something like that. Duration, my appointments are generally an hour, so we're going to change that. I'm going to use an existing schedule that I already have, so I'll click that as working hours. And this is where I was telling you before that you can change it, like if you have wellness hours and VA hours, then you could have two different schedules here that you can select which appointment goes onto which schedule. Or you can set custom hours for an appointment. Say if you don't have regular times set up for it and you just want to take a couple appointments to test it out, you can do custom hours. So here's my availability for this for working hours. If you want to add a little buffer time, which I really like to add at least 15 minutes either before or after an event. Usually I do just 30 minutes after an event because it makes things easier, but you can add it before or after. I really don't like having to rush off an hour call if it's going over or people have questions. And that way I give myself a little bit of a breather also to grab some water or a snack between appointments. So I'm going to do it like this and hit next. All right, so my appointment is ready to accept appointments, and you can click there if you want to see what it looks like so far, but let's go ahead and add some more options. So right now, when someone books this appointment, they're going to have to input their name, email, and anything that you want them to share about the meeting. You can change this question if you don't want to ask them just such a general question. And mine might be something like, what type of business do you have? Or what are your goals? Different things like that. You can also change the answer type if you want it to be checkboxes, radio buttons, multiple lines, one lines, anything like that. You can make it required, which I would highly recommend making your questions required, unless it truly is an optional question, because people will just avoid answering them if you don't require them. So hit apply there. You can add new questions. Might be, what are your goals for our meeting? All right, so you get the picture there. Hit save and close. Workflows are going to be a little a little more in depth. So these we're actually not going to worry about right now because this is something that you'll need to do on a higher paid version, which I suspect a lot of you are not going to be using right now. So this will be something I'll include in a later video. Notifications and cancellation policies. So here you can personalize your invitations to people. So right now it would just say the person's name and my name in the title, and then the body just says the event, description, location, and the question and answers that they provided. Now you can fully customize that if you want it to say like, hi, you can go back and delete this stuff. Hi, thanks for booking. I'm looking forward to our meeting, or whatever you want to say. You can fully customize that. Now you can also do email reminders. So if you toggle that on, you can personalize the email reminder below. It's the same principle. You just delete what you don't want and add in what you do. You can decide how far in advance that they receive that email reminder, and if you want to add a second follow-up reminder. So you might do one at, let's say 48 hours and one 12 hours before. You can do an email follow-up, this is especially great if you're doing an initial visit or an initial contact type meeting. That way you can find out what your client really thought of your meeting and if they gained any clarity from it, if they might want to work with you in the future, or if they're just not the right fit for you, and you can, move on with your day. Text reminders. This is a really awesome one because personally I like receiving a text. I'm not always sitting at my email, so getting a text on my phone is super handy. 24 hours in advance is great, but I like to do it about 2 hours in advance. If you do it 12 hours in advance, you might be texting someone at a really bizarre hour, whereas if you do it 2 hours before, they're more likely to remember your actual meeting. And here you can click into show cancellation policy. If you have a cancellation policy in place, like they might be charged 50% of the appointment, or the fee is non-refundable, different things like that. And you can include these in your emails along with a rescheduling link. So you just hit save and close there. We'll move on to the confirmation page. Confirmation page is what they're going to see as soon as they book the appointment with you. So right now it's the display Calendly confirmation page. You can also redirect them to a different site. So if you want to redirect them to your website or a specific page on your website, a specific blog article that you wrote regarding what type of appointment they're booking, or maybe a podcast that you recorded, you can redirect them directly to those links. Right now, we're just going to leave it on the Calendly confirmation page. And you can also add a custom link that will be added to the confirmation page if you're using the standard Calendly one. So if you click add custom link, you could put listen to this podcast and the link for your podcast link if you want them to listen to something or maybe read an article or different things, but you still want to use that Calendly confirmation page and not redirect them somewhere else. You would just add that. Obviously, it's not a valid URL, so I'm just going to cancel out of that. Hit save and close. And collecting payments. So right now it will automatically be set up to not collect payments. Let's go ahead and collect payment with Stripe. Let's say we're going to charge $150. Payment terms. These should be whatever you use as your standard payment terms. You can just copy and paste those right in here. Hit save and close. And we are all done. Now to view the live page to see what it actually looks like, you're just going to click right here, view live page. And this is what it's going to look like when a client goes to book this type of appointment. Now select the day, select the time, hit confirm, enter their information, send the text messages to their phone number, and also has the opt-out requirement. Then they can enter their credit card information and hit schedule event. And as soon as they hit schedule event, that email goes directly to their inbox with the link to the event, which whether it's Zoom or through Teams, whatever you're using, along with a receipt for the payment and any further information that you provided. And once they hit schedule event, that will take them to the next page that you decided on. That will either be the Calendly confirmation page, that's just pretty standard, and you can add the button link on there, or the area where you could redirect them to a page on your website, a podcast, a blog link, wherever you want to send them. That's pretty much how to set up an appointment in Calendly. Now, if we go back and go over to menu, we can go over to home. From here, you can edit those workflows like I briefly mentioned. So here is a pretty good description on what you're going to be looking at. You can go into the email reminder workflow and set up a full automation of how many emails they get and what happens after they get an email. So maybe they get their email and then we send a text or whatever you would like it to do after they've booked in order to remind them of their appointment. And then also you can do it after the event ends. So you can put them into an email sequence after the event has ended in order to increase the possibility of them buying your service or your program. So workflows will be in a later video as they're a little more advanced. Let's go back in and take a look at our account settings. Here you can fully customize everything on your Calendly. So you would upload a picture here. You can change your name to however you would like it to be viewed. You might want to add your credentials in here, or maybe you do something to give them, like jog their memory of what you're meeting for. You can do a welcome message for your scheduling page. Select your language. You can change the time and day format. So if you are a day before the month person or in one of those countries, then you can change that. You can also work on a 24-hour basis and change your time zone. And the time zone is where you are located, not where your clients are located. Just an FYI, I have had that issue pop up before with people setting this up. So then you would just hit Save Changes. All right, then you can go over to the branding page. You can add your logo right here. You can turn off Calendly branding if you want. No one really cares, so I just leave it on. And then you'd hit Save Changes. Your link, you can customize how your link appears, and this is your link to your general calendar. So it's where people can see all the appointments that you have public that are able to be booked. And if you need to go in and change your billing information, or if you're on a free account and decide to upgrade, you would just go into the billing area and hit Upgrade Now. And that is how you set up your Calendly scheduling software in order to be able to schedule appointments effectively and take payments and integrate all of your other systems with Calendly so that they work and play well together. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below.